Welcome to the ESF Webinar Series with Region 15. I am Leela Talbert and will be leading you through this series. So save the date. We will kick off the official series on September 19th, and we'll every Thursday at 1 through October 24th are doing what we are calling a lunch and learn. So our goal is these will be about 20 minutes each, and this one is just an introduction to help you understand what is ESF. So our goal for the series is to share the ESF framework, which in our opinion is an excellent resource for leaders of A through F campuses. The ESF framework is really focused on growing people and building systems. So it'll be an opportunity for you to grow capacity in yourself as well as others, but more importantly, to build systems that outlast you, and we can do this. As we know that student outcomes do not change until adult behaviors do. So this system is focused on adult behaviors in school systems and what can we do in identifying high leverage actions of what we can do that impact students most, which is our goal, is what's best for kids. So what is ESF? At the core of ESF is effective instruction, which really is interaction between student, teachers, and content to determine learning outcomes. How was this determined? Well, TEA developed ESF with the intent to provide a clear vision for what districts and schools across the state can do to ensure an excellent education for all students, which absolutely each of us want to do. But it wasn't just based on opinion, it was based on evidence. So they looked at high-performing schools nationwide as well as research. That research included some books that I'm sure you may recognize, which were Transformational Leadership, Leverage Leadership, Get Better Faster, and Teach Like a Champion. These were developed in conjunction with school and district leaders and included national review of research about what makes high-performing schools excellent. So essentially, it was developed by school leaders for school leaders. And in our opinion, at Region 15, they have knocked this one out of the park, because really, once you understand it, it truly can be a driver to identify strengths and that your campus has to leverage to make sure you don't let those go, but also help you identify the best next step to take and what would be most impactful for student outcomes. So as we get away from the core of effective instruction, which is always our target in schools, is what are the things that support that? Well, these are strengthened by effective, well-supported teachers, high-quality curriculum, and positive school culture. But then the glue that binds is strong school leadership and planning. So we call that the binding agent of what keeps all of that together. So none of these may be ahas for you. These are all things that we aim at and know. But what is fascinating about ESF and the way that they put the framework together is there's really details given to what is that and how to. So as they pulled out the 5 prioritized levers, so you can see the 5 pillars here on the screen. Under each of those, they have identified essential actions. So what would be the actions necessary to accomplish that lever? But then you can see in gold are what we call the foundational essential actions. So if you do nothing else, you do these at a minimum, which is what I love about this, is it really kind of gets you a laser in focus on which component for you. So for your campus and your school, there might be a pillar in here that based on their criteria, which we call a success criteria, you are knocking it out of the park, but there may be a component in here that you might be doing one of the not foundational actions well, but maybe the foundational action isn't as strong as you would like it to be. So it helps you in making a decision in the next step. So in this webinar series, we're really going to start at the end. We're going to start at the bullseye or the target, and we're going to work our way backwards and doing a deep dive into each of these components. So under effective instruction, you can see this is the only one that has 2 foundational actions within the same lever. So we are going to unpack those one at a time. And then as you go across, we'll unpack one at a time what strengthens the core. And then last but not least, of the binding agent with strong school leadership and planning. So as you dig into one essential action, so we're starting here with 1.1, and I just pulled this up so you could kind of see what you have access to as you get in the ESF, is there's an 8-pager, and in the 8-pager, it provides you a description of what is the prioritized lever, But within that, this is the component. Some of you may be district level support people. It provides district commitments of what are the district commitments needed and necessary in order for this lever to be successful. So if you're in a district position, this is a great place for you to go out and look to see how you can support this campus. But as a campus, you can't always control district commitments, but you can be aware to know if that's a support or a barrier potentially. But then what is most helpful on a campus level is when you get into the essential actions. So the essential actions are then also unpacked with a set of descriptions that define high-level performance. So it's very detailed in what this would encompass under the essential actions. So for us in our webinar series, the essential actions and really the foundational essential actions, remember there's 13, we are going to focus on the 6 foundational essential actions and unpack those one by one in our Lunch and Learn series. So I am Leila Talbert, and why am I passionate about this? I just spent the last 4 years leading a campus, an Abernathy Elementary campus, and my year 1, I really spent the year knowing all of those 5 components, that those are important for schools, but what does that look like? What's good? What are exemplars? And that's the other fabulous thing about the ESF framework is there are exemplars. So we will provide you with examples of what does this look like in action, that based on research and based on the criteria that they meet all the criteria. We spent the last couple of years hunting and pecking and finding things. Our goal when we started was sophisticated RTI because our data was trending down, not up. And through some trial and error and a lot of heartache, I would say that we found some good systems and we're able to put those in place for sophisticated RTI. But I'm passionate about this because this could save you time, effort, and energy and heartache because the ESF framework lays that out for you. It really truly gives you a recipe and you just see if you have ingredients and what ingredients you're missing, and then you can make it your own because we know every campus is unique based on the kids and the staff that you have in it, and then you can create it and make it yours and make it fit your campus. So the references will be, or the resources we'll be referencing in our webinar series are the 6-pager, 8-pager, and then the essential actions exemplars. We will provide these on the screen, but you are welcome to print those if you would like to. So save the date, join us for our first Lunch and Learn on September 19th at 1. It can be accessed in the Zoom meeting on the newsletter, or we will also be sending out an email to all campus principals, and you can access the link through there. If you have any questions or wonders, feel free to contact me at any point, and I am looking forward to having lunch with you and learning together.